With us out of town for a convention in Anaheim, California, we decided that we would give you some of the interesting information that we've come across in our research, since we don't have time to give you guys any complete stories this week. So let's have a look at the craziest and weirdest Z-list supervillains that I could find. Here's 9 of them. Let's start off small with our first Z-list supervillain, the Hypno Hustler. He's a 1970s supervillain that came with his own backup singers known as the Mercy Killers. He uses the power of disco to hypnotize everybody to do his bidding. While you would assume that this guy was gone for good when disco ended, he fought against Deadpool and Spider-Man very recently. Next up is Crazy Quilt. He is a character that is decorated in a series of crazy colors, and he can hypnotize his enemies by flashing vivid colors at them. Wonder why this guy didn't stick around after Batman captured him. Next up is another reason to make fun of early Aquaman, because this villain is called the Fisherman. He literally fought Aquaman with specialized lures and fishing rods. That's it. Eventually, they gave him a much deeper storyline and made him have superpowers, but he started as being literally a fisherman. Guess that makes sense. Paste Pot Pete is next because he is a Fantastic Four villain that knew his name was crap. His powers are to spray glue and stick the Fantastic Four in one place. That's it. Why didn't he call himself Crazy Glue Guy or Sticky Pete or the guy that shoots white stuff? No, I'm seeing why that didn't catch on. He eventually changed his name to Trapster. Another Batman villain that you may remember from the TV show is Condiment King. He fights with ketchup and mustard. The worst thing that he can do is stain your superhero tights. But those guys are all straight up lame villains. What about the really bizarre ones, like Hate Monger? This guy is a Hitler clone that fought against the Fantastic Four, and he used his hate ray to make people racist. He could also make other people hate each other even if they weren't of different colors, but he primarily tried to make everyone into a racist. It's good to know that World War II villains didn't go away very quickly. Or how about Snowflame? He was a rather strong individual that was impervious to pain after snorting cocaine. Seriously, that is how he powered up. He did a line of drugs, and boom, he became a supervillain. I guess drugs really do lead down a bad path. Next up is the villain, He-She. This villain is literally half man and half woman. He-She would stand with their left side to their victims, trapping young men with her half good looks, then use her man strength to strangle and beat down a person. I'm not even joking, that was the premise to this villain. Apparently, the only way to deal with a villain this evil was to kill them with an electric chair, because as the superhero said, she had no soul, or he had no soul. I don't even know what you refer to them as. Floronic Man is the last one on my list, and from what I can gather, this was a public service announcement comic, but either way, this guy is funny. This villain is a guy who had his head chopped off, and using very similar powers to Poison Ivy, he was able to turn the nearest plant into his new body. The plant in question was a cannabis plant, and it turned this guy into a villain with a body made up of a pot plant. His big villain moment was selling weed to people in Gotham until Batman caught up with him and cut his head off, effectively killing him. So the moral of the story is, don't do drugs, or Batman will cut your head off. I'm Benny for Comicstorian, and let me know in the comments down below all the weird and bizarre villains that you've found. Also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Comicstorian, and check out these other great videos on the screen right now. You just might like them. I'll see you guys next time right here.